to the National Assembly, the Nigerian Senate has condemned in totality the sit-at-home order imposed on states in the southeast region and its impact on the economic welfare of its citizens. The upper legislative chamber also urged the federal government to collaborate with the Finnish government to extradite Simon Ekpa for prosecution, considering his involvement in the matter.
Amidst protests in the southeast over the sit-at-home order imposed on citizens in that region, the Nigerian Senate is calling for practical solutions to end this impasse. The Senate says it is worried by this disturbing trend, which has significantly affected the economic stability of the region and its citizens, and there are fears that if this issue is allowed to fester, it could degenerate to a national crisis.
The Senate should condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is a gang leader. 2, urge the federal government of Nigeria to collaborate with the Finnish government and extradite Simon Ekpa for prosecution. 3, urge the federal government to use political solution and approach in handling the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Mr. President, it is common knowledge that our brothers from the southeast largely hold the commerce of this great country. If commerce, therefore, is shut down in this part of the country, I'm afraid it indeed a national problem that I think should be treated as a national challenge.
All of us in the National Assembly, we have met. Everybody has condemned it. I need the Senate to know that there is no one in the Southeast, except the criminals, who support this sit-at-home.
These boys have caused an industrial problem in our area. And where he represents Senator Abaribe, they are mainly manufacturers. And Aba is a manufacturing hubs. None of the industries can open. People have suffered so much.
The Senate is now seeking the intervention of the federal government as it also expresses concerns about the seeming incapacity of the concerned state governors to arrest the situation.
This must stop. Nigeria is not a banana republic. So, Senator Ifeanyi, you've had an experience because you were once attacked. I want us to provide solutions in this motion, practical solutions. And then our committee on legislative compliance will also go ahead after we have communicated our resolutions here to find out the compliance, to find out what the security agencies are doing.
The upper legislative chamber urged the federal government and security agencies to utilize technology in tracking the criminals and ensure that justice is served. The Senate also observed a minute silence for victims of violent crimes across the country.
The Senate notes with sadness.
Here in Lagos, the State Emergency Management Agency has reviewed plans to mitigate flooding in all parts of the state. The Permanent Secretary of LASEMA, Oluwafemi Oke-Osoitolu, stated this at a sensitization program held at Etiosa local government. Correspondent Ayomide Adjegbe reports.
The first local government that comes to mind during flooding in Lagos is Etiosa. Hence, it is necessary for sensitization by relevant government agencies to forestall possible disaster. This sensitization program brought together both representatives of the government and the people.
We are ready to manage emergency stroke disaster holistically. In terms of planning, we are there. In terms of early warning, we are there. In terms of forecasting, we are there. In terms of response and recovery and reconstructions, under the watch of Mr. Governor, we are there.
LASEMA says preparation for flood is everyone's responsibility, and Lagos State government has invested heavily on all first responders in disaster management. Hence, they are well equipped to manage eventualities.
Those people that are vulnerable, all those people that are displaced, we've assured them that we have a settlement area. We have a relief center in all our 3 senatorial districts. We have one in Agbowa, which serves the Lagos East. We have one in Igodo that serves the Lagos West. We have one in Central that serves the Lagos Central. So we have already covered the place. If need be, we will open that relief camp for them.
The people of Etiosa appreciate the effort of the government, but also want a more proactive measure against reclamation and illegal dredges, which results in ocean surge.
Approval being given for reclamation within this axis of the local government. It is not what anybody can just wake up one morning and go there and do. Sure, you understand, without the approval of the state, be it an indigene or whoever. If the state does not give that permission or the approval, that cannot be done. You see, the lagoon we're talking about has become so narrow to the extent that waters find it so difficult to move. So we really have to wait for hours after rain for the water to go before the inward one will be coming out. So this is too dangerous for our living here.
With NIMET's prediction and weather forecasts suggesting heavy flooding in many parts of Lagos, there will be no excuse for all relevant authorities to plan ahead. Ayomide Ajaybe, TVC News, Lagos.